Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I want to say a quick thank you for the support on this channel. I know 1,000 views isn't that much, but considering I started with a grand total of 0 subscribers last week, I'm pretty happy with it. We're kind of slaying, so thank you so much. But without further ado, today I'm here with the essential tips for high scoring in Star Stable. This is going to be your ultimate guide to racing, the racing handbook if you will. I'll be going over a range of aspects of the game, horses, tack, and gameplay tricks for you, so let's get into it. So first and foremost, we'll begin with the horses. As of recording, currently the best breeds for racing are the Generation 1 Fjord, the Percheron, Morgan, and Jorvik starter pony. So let's start with the Fjord. This breed currently benefits majorly from its super fast jump animation, making this a great horse for longer cross-country races, such as Steve's. However, as it's a Generation 1 breed, it can't take advantage of the walk to slow gallop trick, which we'll get into later, meaning that your start may just be a few milliseconds slower. Additionally, there's the larger downside of it not being available anymore, making it only accessible to a small group of people. Because of this, I think the Star Stable will be quicker to quote-unquote fix this breed and get rid of its advantage, so it might not be the best for very long. Secondly, we have the Percheron. This horse is widely available to everyone, unlike the Fjord, and can avail of the walk to slow gallop trick, due to it being a Generation 3 horse. Its jump is also faster than average, making it a good choice for racing. I'd especially recommend this breed for shorter cross-country races, for example the Elite Bobcats race, or it's just a great replacement for the Gen 1 Fjord if you don't have one. Thirdly, the Morgan is also a solid choice. It's comparable to the Percheron in all aspects, however its jump is just marginally slower, but this makes it a good choice if you already own one but not a Percheron, as Percherons can be quite expensive. And finally, we have the Jorvik starter pony. This pony is exclusively good for show jumping races, as you can turn extremely tight mid-jump with this breed. I'm going to put on screen some videos of these horses and their respective jumps, so you can compare them and see which one you'd like. For racing, there is a very specific outfit you should be using for your horse. This consists of the matte and dark western bridle available from Cape West Fishing Village, Moorland set saddle available from Moorland, the Jarlaheim blanket available from Jarlaheim, however this does require popular reputation with them, and your own handmade horseshoes or the horseshoes from the master blacksmith if you sold the free ones. In regards to clothes, you should have some freedom here, as quite a few pieces have the same stats. You will need the usual racing stats such as +8 riding tops, but you'll also need to make sure you're prioritizing the command statistic, as this allows you to take advantage of that walk to slow gallop trick that I'm going to tell you about just a second. At level 22, your command should be at 41, but this scales with your character level, so don't worry if you have less than this, that's probably just your character level. You can follow my outfit here as a guide if you wish. Discipline is also imperative for a quick start, so make sure your horse has a discipline stat of 28 on a maxed horse. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the walk to slow gallop trick. Generation 2 and 3 horses can transition from walk to slow gallop instantly. In order to do this, you just have to spam the W key and hold one side key for about 1 second towards one direction simultaneously. This quick transition can give you a good few milliseconds of advantage over your competitors, and it may seem a little bit tricky at first, but it's quite easy to master. I'd recommend practicing this on races that start on a turn, or you could just practice it without a race like I did. So another great way to get a head start in your races is by resetting your race. How this works is by cantering or galloping ahead once you start, then pressing the jump and restart button simultaneously at the exact same time. If you've done this correctly, you should start the race again, but this time ahead of where you normally start. Again, this can be tricky to master and it does vary slightly by race. Some races you should restart as the jump animation begins, others as it ends. It just depends on the variation of distances in the race. Also, make sure that you don't restart ahead of your first checkpoint. If you restart whilst turning, you will also start the race slightly rotated in that direction, which means you can start off straight, saving you some time if the first checkpoint is angled away from you. There's also a second technique to getting a head start, which is more difficult. Full credits for this go to Vera Shark Knight. Go check out their channel for some great videos on specific shortcuts. To get this head start, you must line your horse up to the checkpoint you wish to respawn at, use the jump restart technique I just explained, and immediately press Alt-Tab as you do this to change windows. This can be quite difficult, but if you manage to master it, you'll definitely be ahead of the game. So far we've only actually talked about the build up to and the start of the race, so what about once you're actually racing? Well, the main tricks to get a good time are boosting, perfecting your turns, and staying tight to your checkpoints. You should be treating your race like a triangle and you're doing Pythagoras' theorem. Always take the shortest route. Avoid winding around corners and stay close to the inside. Staying tight into the checkpoints will also save you some milliseconds, which may not seem much, but that is the difference between just placing on the leaderboard and being able to claim that best ever title. Keep in mind though, different checkpoints seem to have different sized hitboxes, so you'll just have to learn each race individually. Additionally, try to avoid pressing your arrow keys when galloping straight, as this can add some extra milliseconds to your time as well. Boosting is also super important. In order to boost, you must time your jump down a hill correctly. An easy place to practice this is Golden Hills Valley, Jorvik Stables, and that hill down to the Jarlaheim Harbour race. If you time your jump correctly, you should get a speed boost down the hill. Just be careful not to boost yourself upwards into the air, as this gives no speed advantage and could lead to a dangerous fall. You can also get small boosts from jumping over obstacles as late as possible, so the timing here is really key. Shortcuts are crucial. While figuring them out yourself can be fun, I recommend looking around on YouTube for specific shortcuts to really maximize your potential. The Star Stable Racing Discord server is also a really great base for all racing knowledge and has a lovely community that share tips and tricks. I will link the invite down below. It's also important to note that if you do want to take racing seriously, you should do everything in your power to level up your character, as you do get faster each time you level. This is obviously a lot easier said than done though. And that concludes my guide on racing. Thank you so much you guys for watching. I really hope this was helpful to someone. If you have any more questions, feel free to pop them down below and I'll do my best to answer you. Good luck and have fun racing!